Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom podcast. Today, we continue our coverage of John Wick. Today is John Wick Chapter 2, released on February 10th, 2017, written by Derek Kolstad and directed by Chad Stelsky. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up? What up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you.
Mm.
We leveled up. We
Mm.
leveled up. It's a bottom line. Chapter 2 of the John Wick franchise is fucking baller in every sense of the word. How are you feeling?
I mean, I had a gold standard that I kind of laid in John Wick 1 of a shot in a movie at the Brooklyn Bridge, and it kind of fits this bill. It's like last time they were on the ground and they shot Willem Dafoe and Keanu very nicely. Now we're in a helicopter. We're fucking in the sky. We're in it. I don't know. Everything is just. You're right. More grand.
Mm.
We've opened up the world, and then the ending, I'm like, you kind of said like that I'm not ready for whatever the world is getting into, and then I see the ending and I'm like, whoa, 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 we're getting into Westworld territory, man. I didn't know this dude controls New York, the world. I don't know. What, how is it? Everybody, is it? I need to know more. Like, and oh my, I mean, I am coming very, yesterday John Wick 1, today John Wick 2. I'm like, I'm all in. Like, I don't know if
You're
I can
riding
really
high.
stop, It's going to be really, really hard to just not continue. Um, but yeah, no, I'm all the way in. So that this is it just kept getting grander and grander. I don't know. It just kept going, and I'd say the only thing that I'm not like holding back, or like the only thing that like I'd say the first movie has up on this one is like the story felt more meaningful. Like it was like
Oh yeah, for sure.
at least it was like coming from like a good relationship, good pain. It was like at least if he's going to kill people, at least it's because it, I don't know, it's never good, but like it felt better in the first one. This one it was like
Right.
it's just pure, you know.
Dude's a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and you brought up something the other day on our first John Wick episode where you talked about how he doesn't want to do it. And I think that's an accurate assessment for the most part. Um, you know,
Mhm.
he doesn't he retires at the beginning of the movie. He gets his car back and he's out. That's it.
Mhm.
I'm done. And you can respect that. But you can't get out and get back in without consequences. And I loved the way that they portray that in this movie. I love the way that everyone's like, you had to have known, right? Like John, like you couldn't get back in and be done. Like when you got back in, you were back in. You
Mhm.
literally said in the first movie, "Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back."
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, but he said thinking in the first one? Did he
mhm,
actually? Okay, so
mhm.
now I don't think he's thinking anymore.
No,
Right.
he's back.
He's back now. Yeah, he knows. He's all the way in. The little pink, if you dip the pinky in, you might see that someone reaches and pulls you in, and that someone was a blood pact. I guess was himself overall, because he did make what's it, is it called something?
Marker.
Marker, thank you. Yes, that's so cool. Another cool addition to the John Wick world, the marker. I love the coin. I love the marker. I love the call. I love how slow. I love how it's a bureaucracy. It's fucking stupid. Why does it, it's like the TVA. Why do they get a call? They write it down, they send it in a tube, it goes up, and then someone types it in the computer, and then it goes out. Why not just type it in the computer right away? Why not just be like, okay, yep, John Wick, yep, 10
Need
million,
to have
yep.
physical records for the high table.
Oh, okay.
They
I
try to do. I'm assuming they try to do everything as analog as possible, not to
oh,
be tracked.
okay.
Um,
That's why it is kind of old tech, maybe. Like it is
mhm,
very
yeah.
old, and I do love that book that had all the because the marker that had the blood thumbprint, but then he also had him like a ledger sort of like book where you could
Mm-hmm.
tell like this is all that this dude does. Like this is like his job. Like what? Oh, and just the idea of like a thumb stamp with blood. Not gonna lie, I
Yeah.
understand.
No.
It's like it is blood and like whatever. We need to bring that back. Like that's just a little prick. People do it that have diabetes. People prick their fingers all the time to, blood. We need to like that is an official signature. If you're signing a check, you don't want to prick your thumb to sign a check. You just sign that thing or like a form. But like if you're, I don't know, if I want to buy like a freaking house that I would be down
You
to
don't
be
want
like,
to stamp that in blood.
like this is in blood, that's me and my thumbprint. It's your blood and your thumbprint. I don't know. It
Mhm.
really just clicked with me for some reason. Um, so yeah,
No, it's cool. That's a cool idea.
no chain codes, no need, no, you don't need your wallet. That it's too much. You don't even need an ID. You can't. It's if as long as you're living, you got blood and you got your thumb. Hopefully, I guess if
Hopefully.
there are some people that do not. So I,
There are people there are people who lose fingers.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and people who don't even have an entire limb. So I guess there are some holes that I have found in my thumbprint blood revolution that I want to start. But we'll be inclusive. We'll find a way. We'll find a
Life
way.
finds a way. That's true.
Yeah.
Um, no, but I I also thought they did a really good job of making sure you knew that it wasn't slow. Um, like there was like they were punching all this in, people were
Mm.
receiving the news.
Oh, I
She was still inputting stuff,
yes.
and he was, and then she goes, order 1111 complete.
That is true.
Um,
I guess I don't wanna make it, like, bureaucracy and slow. I guess, like, it could just be streamlined way more, but you're
mhm,
right. They were a well-oiled machine, I mean,
yeah.
they were moving, and it's nothing to them. They like, I wonder if, like, because John Wick, we hear like, if anyone hears his name, it's like, "Holy fuck," like that, but there's no reaction for them, it's just like it's just their job. It is, they are just typing in, it is one thing, but, like, I wonder I don't know. Is it just because it's all they do all day every day? Or is like this not even a big contract? This has to be like a massive one though at the end, right? Like this
Mhm.
is not normal. Like excommunicon like what's the like that just mean does
Excommunicado.
that just mean he's banned from the Continental or does that mean
Mhm.
like we want him dead? Or like is the contract separate, like
The
sort of thing?
contract is separate. So Katora, the group that Santino came from and Gianna came from,
Mhm.
they took out the hit, and they're a part of the high table. So they've got basically the biggest
Oh, okay.
group of the underground behind them. So they take out a $14 million hit. Excommunicado means he can't use any of the Continental services, not just staying at the Continental, but where he got
No.
his body armor, where he got his guns, where he got stitched up in the first one,
Oh,
where
no, the dinner
all that's off the table.
reservations. Yes.
Dinner
Oh,
reservations no longer.
no.
His coin collection done, doesn't matter. That's all through the Continental. Um,
Are his coins, say he were to go to another person in the Continental, are those coins still have value that way, right? Or is
yes,
it
yes.
okay, I didn't
I don't
know
think the coins are personalized.
I didn't
No,
know if, like, it was against the rules to accept a coin from someone who is excommunicant, or what, like, if that's a
it actually is. It's illegal to perform a service for someone who's excommunicado. So
Oh,
typically that comes with giving them a coin.
mhm.
So
Okay.
like if you perform a service for someone who's excommunicado, you die. Like that is the rules.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, they got their rules. That is a service, those coin it's like monopoly money, I guess, yeah, and once you're
mm.
not in the game anymore.
And I'm fairly certain it is also a mark for death. I don't think the $14 million contract is separate from the excommunicado, but the excommunicado also means he needs to die.
When was
Um,
so the the 14 million, when was that enacted? Was that at the very end, like an hour
That was
delay?
at the
Like
very end.
that's what he said. Like he's executing a condo and there's an hour delay, or was
There's an hour delay on the excommunicado. He can seek those services for another hour. Um, we pick up John Wick 3 right here. Like we go straight from, we spend that, not a full hour in the movie, but we spend that
but
hour with
he
John.
uses that hour. Like he
Yes, he uses that hour.
I guess
Um,
this is a very crucial hour. Indeed, very very crucial. Okay, wow. No, this yeah, the world, oh man. Like that I didn't know really where it could go, you know? Like it's just like are more people going to want to kill him and like that's it, you know? It's like that I'm down. Like the movies are still a great, like I probably have a great time, but I'm so glad that there's like something else kind of to it
there's a
now.
thread. There's a
Yeah.
thread line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
And
it's John against everybody. Nobody fuck with John, you know?
oh, he will kill them all. He will kill them all. Well, spoilers a little bit. There is a chapter 4. So unless he's Jon Snow and resurrects, maybe he doesn't get him. Maybe everyone's still just coming for him in chapter 4. I don't know. I'm just going to let it happen as it happens, you know? I'm not going to think too hard as to where we're going, you know?
No,
But
I mean, like, that's the thing is that, like, this is the thing I appreciate about movie franchises versus television shows, is that in a television show, if season 1 of John Wick was an 8 to 10 hour television show where maybe it was the first and second movie, we would know a lot more about the world. You would have a lot
that's
more
true.
to build off of here. And that's cool in its own right, but there's such a freedom in not really having any anticipation for what could possibly happen and just kind of being like, well, now everybody's after him. This is
Yeah.
fucking awesome. You
It's
know?
it's sick to have to put yourself in this world because like now, I mean, the probability is not 0, you know. There is a chance that Brother Ray has it like this. You know, or there's you know, there it but now it's getting out of the realm of possibility, you know. But it's fun to like put yourself in that world.
Oh yeah.
And like
We
because
got Laura Fishburne playing a Varys,
Ooh.
a master of whisperers type character.
Dude, why was so much Game of Thrones kind of bleeding through a little bit? I got like
Oh yeah.
vibes of it, like that, like I don't know why, but I thought it was just funny, and he kind of fit that bill perfectly, and just was super on the nose for like I don't know, like it wasn't, hey, I'm Morpheus and you're Neo, but it was kind of like, hey, you're supposed to be retired or whatever. Like, what a comeback or whatever. I don't know. Like, it felt very kind of. It worked for in John Wick, and it worked in real life, which was pretty cool. And like, I don't know. He said like, "You made me a king," you know. And I wonder because Lawrence Fishburne, he was popping before The Matrix, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like it kind of went
I
the
mean,
other way.
The Matrix launched him into another stratosphere. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne wasn't a movie star. He was in movies and he was a good actor. And he was, I mean, I wouldn't tout him as an A-lister or anything, but he was a leading man. You know, you remember Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
That was what, 8 years before The Matrix.
Yeah. So
There was Deep Cover, which was 4 or 5 years before The Matrix. Like he'd been around the block for
but
sure.
The
But so did
Matrix
Keanu.
was, I guess, his first
That, I mean, like that made him
blow
a
up.
household
Okay.
fucking name, Lawrence
Okay.
Fishburne. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It felt like when they met, it felt very um reminiscent of their good times together, sort of. And then at the end, whenever he's in the elevator leaving, you know, he's like, Earl will be your guide. Follow, you know, or like I don't like just the way he talked. I thought it was
Follow
you
the
know,
White Rabbit.
yes,
Yeah.
like oh my god,
That sort of thing.
it was so perfect. So I mean,
Somebody, please get this man a gun. I fucking love Lawrence
God,
Fishburne. That's
there.
absolutely my line. I loved. There were several lines from him that I absolutely loved. I loved the "That's downright upright of you, Mister Wick." You know, that's
Oh, yeah,
he's got like this Mad Hatter thing going on that I
yeah.
fucking love. I don't know what it is. I
The
dig it a lot though.
I had a choice. You gave me a choice, John Wick. I could either remove or take my hand off my neck and shoot you and die, or keep the pressure on my neck. And now, no one sneaks up on me thanks to you. I don't
Mhm.
just his introduction was so badass, and then like um, what's the number up to now? And the guy he's like 7, and then he goes, "Oh, we're going to Applebee's after this or whatever," and then like all the
Yeah,
guys are kind of like, "Oh shit," like, "Oh,"
they're
like, "Oh,"
like, "Oh, we
they're
gonna
like,
we
"Oh
gonna do this
fuck,"
thing?"
and wait, for real? And then like, he's like, "All right," you know, I don't know, because John looks around, he's counting, he's seeing his
Yep.
options,
Yep.
what he would have to do if it went down to that, but um, no, yeah, that the scenes with Lawrence Fishburne were awesome, and
Bowery King. Fucking love it. I
I
fucking love it.
it's tough. I'm between 2 characters, and he might just have to.
He's mine.
He
He's my
just
character.
he was so good. Like, and you going for him makes me feel a little bit better if I spread the love, but man, was he just so good. Like, he was just on screen for like not that long, Like, he really didn't have
Mm-mm.
like that much in the movie, but he was like by far like the coolest standout, like just person to
Oh,
introduce in the movie.
definitely the most interesting character introduction as far as
Yeah.
just, he does have that Master of Whisperers thing going on. I am all seeing,
Yeah.
all knowing, that whole
Dude,
thing. I
yes.
absolutely
So
love it.
what's his bag? What is he putting in the pigeons? Like it looked like little chips or like little microchips or like trackers or like I don't like was it is this how
I
he
don't know.
is this how he gets his information? Like, is he truly like Master of Whispers in this, Is he like
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the way this movie touts it up, and this is part of it that makes it extremely fantasy, is that every homeless person in New York works for the Bowery King.
yeah.
And listens and spreads the word back to
Okay.
him.
I didn't
Uh,
I'm glad. And then also when the hit was sent out, it like showed him releasing a shit ton of dubs as well. In that moment, I think like it was like it showed on the analog screen, like on the computer screen, calling this phone number, this phone number, this phone number, and then it cut
mhm.
to him releasing a bunch of pigeons. And I guess maybe like he got that's just how he informs all of his homeless people.
It
Like
could be. It could be. Yeah.
that's just his network. That's like I'd say okay, the Bowery King's got to be in with Brother Ray here. What's his okay? I can't keep calling him Brother Ray. Um, what's his just Winston? There it is, Winston.
Yeah, Winston.
Winston. Is Winston and the Bowery King in cahoots? I may I guess if maybe I don't want to know. I know I'm asking a question that is potentially will be revealed, but
I don't I think the best way to go about it is to assume everybody knows everybody. Um
yeah, Winston. But it doesn't even seem like Winston's the top dog, even though there's like a high
no, he's not.
table, and like so if
Um
he's not, if
this was actually fascinating. I love the John Wick movies and I've watched them several times. And I remember this, of course. There's nothing ever again that shows that he has this kind of power.
this was just kind of maybe one display, like
Mhm.
just
I
like
mean, it's like so he has that power, but he never enacts that sort of power again.
okay, because I
And
was like,
he has a lot of sway, like, and they make that clear. He is an important person, and people do interact with him like he is a powerful man. But there isn't much you can do
mm,
beyond this that shows how powerful you are.
yeah, he'd have to
So
like
like,
literally mind control or like just get a whole mob to go. Like yeah, it'd be very weird to use it again. Um, but no, it was a a very cool display of power, and I think that that's just the whole point. Is like a look, like dog.
Yeah, he's like, why am I still alive then? He says, because I said it so.
I deemed it to be or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn. Okay, yes, God. You're playing a little playing get like this was kind of a little I don't know God display
A
here.
complex for
Yeah, it
sure.
seemed,
Uh,
and it got me to think like back during the movie because like I love whenever fights are just breaking out like in public and like there are some times where people scream and run away, but like in the subway, you know, like
you
in the
don't have anywhere
car.
to run.
Like, that's true. I guess it is just New York and fuck. But like two people like knives. Once knives are pulled out, I feel like that changes the game, you know? Like if you see two people fist fighting on the subway, you're kind of like, "All right, well, I do have nowhere to go. That's not my fight, whatever." But I feel like a knife's pulled out or like a weapon and you're kind of like, "Okay, now I'm feeling a little more like this is
Mhm.
a little different now." But when the doors open, everyone does scatter, whatever.
Yeah.
But like it got me to kind of like after seeing that display, it got me to think like
How many
are
people know what's happening?
exactly. And like so that's why they're not freaking out, or whatever. It's like it but they need to be watching. Like that's their job maybe, like that's what they're supposed to do and relay back that information. I don't know. Like if the Bowery King has all the homeless people, maybe Winston's got just all the non-homeless people, I mean, where do
Mhm.
these people come that's the whole he where were they at? Was that a well-known
That
location?
was Central Park.
That
That
was
was Central Park.
okay, so yes, it's Central Park. That is New York City. This is the most populated, not the most, but like holy fuck.
This is one of the things that makes it really fun to think of the John Wick movies as an amalgamation of several genres. And obviously, channeling those things into action makes it extremely unique and palatable. But there's elements of Western movies. There's elements of samurai movies. There's
Mm,
elements of fantasy movies, and they're all amalgamated into an action funnel, which is super fucking cool.
yeah.
Um,
Call that a professional courtesy. Like whenever
yeah,
you leave, that's in your
that knife's in
aorta.
your aorta.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. And then, what was the first professional courtesy? Because he gave like it was the other way around, right? It was oh, I felt like there was one before that.
It's a callback, it is, but I didn't catch it earlier in the movie, and I thought it was gonna come after, and then it never came, so it
Because I
must have
remember
happened.
what's his name? Let's see, he's Cassian. Oh, little
Yeah,
Cassian. That's cool. I didn't.
yeah, played by Common,
Yeah.
who's a talented rapper.
And but I love like their first standoff. Like whenever let's see, what's her name? Gianna. And what like her.
That's the scene with
Mm,
Gianna is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It gives me my favorite shot for sure. Whenever she's getting ready and the camera pans behind her and John Wick appears,
mm.
uh, and she's genuinely
Woo.
shocked and afraid. I
Can
I
only mean one
adore that
thing,
scene.
you know.
I think it's the best set of dialogue in the first two movies that happens between them.
Mm.
I think it's whenever she's like, "Do you fear damnation, John?" And he's, "Yeah." Um,
This was a badass way to go out, I mean, I thought, maybe she's trying to draw him in to get to him, like sort of thing, but no. No, she was like, "This is it." I'm going out my way. John still had to do what he had to do. It makes sense. He had to be the one to finish it for the marker and all. But like, damn, at least he let I feel like she was gone at that point.
she died.
It
Yeah,
was
she
just
died
for
for
pleasant.
Santino,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
don't know what to call that. The rules, um, that are in place there,
Yeah,
but
I mean, because if he lets her commit suicide and doesn't put a bullet in her, he's still under contract with Santino. Um,
mm. Ah,
You can't escape the
the
marker that
I
way.
see. It
Um,
has to be fulfilled. Yes,
he has
okay.
to kill her,
It's not
or
even
else it's
the rules of the Continental, it's just the rule of the pact or the marker. That's
yeah,
how
of
the
the
marker
marker.
works.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he doesn't do deed, there's no deed done. He's
Wow,
still under marker.
dude. I want we gotta make the markers real. I mean, that's a promise, you know? But maybe not to
What,
the
pinky
level
swears aren't enough for you?
maybe not to the level of like, "We'll kill you if you do not do this," but, like, just to show that you are promising something of I don't know, like, just, "Yes, you have my blood, like, do what more do you want?"
Right.
Sorta thing. I think it is pretty cool. It's a little barbaric, but man, it's sort of
Do I look civilized to you?
yeah,
That was a good line by John in the first movie.
mm,
But yeah,
yeah,
no, I mean this is just balls to the wall action. I absolutely adore that it takes a lot of the beats from the first movie and kind of mirrors them. I think that that's a really cool choice. I like that the revenge is taking taking revenge against the man who uh, officially got him back in, but also destroyed the house that he fell in love with his wife in and bought with his wife, and
yeah,
you
that
know
was
all
a
that. Uh,
big no-no there. You know, it's like all these people that are messing with John,
you have a lovely
why?
home.
Why
Buena Sera.
why piss this guy off, you know? And you know, I guess his reason was like he had to get him back in, and this was for sure a way to get him back in, but look a couple steps ahead. Um I don't
Yeah,
think
Winston. When Winston talks to him about it, and he's like, "You fucking idiot," like he warned you. You got what you wanted. Sure, you will not live to reap the benefits.
he's like, "What do you
Sorry.
think he will do once the marker has been fulfilled?" He's like,
Yeah,
"What do you think John Wick, that man, will
yeah.
do?"
That was the quote that I almost went with. It was
Mm.
the better a better line instead of, but the delivery Lawrence Fishburne has was somebody please get this man
Somebody,
a gun. Please.
please. The please was my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get this man a
Yeah.
gun. No, but the line where he goes, "You stabbed the devil in the back. You incinerated the priest's temple, burned it to the ground. Now that he's free of the marker, what do you think he'll do?" Like
Damn.
you're fucked.
Winston. Man. Yeah, we need to bring back the marker. We need to bring back speaking like this all the time. Maybe, why does it have to be killers? Why could not this just be like a non-killing club? Let's it's kind of their whole game. Like, I don't know. It's kind of the whole point of the marker and everything, though, is that like killing is involved. But yeah, I don't really know how to make it without it. Um,
Yeah, no, and that's what's cool about the John Wick franchise is that there's no trying to rectify what exists. It's like this does
yeah,
exist. Try to get by.
yeah.
Um,
I and
and
I
that's cool.
It's kind of in like Dune, how it doesn't really hold your hand. It's just very like this is just how it is. Like learn the
Yeah.
world by seeing it, sort of thing. And it's kind of how they treat the world, which I really really like. And but man, even whenever there is some exposition dumps and they're just saying how some continental lingo or anything, I want as much as I can get though. It's like I
Mm.
like it the way it is, but give me more. Like I need to know more. I need the
Is
high
the
table.
Somali is the sommelier in?
Mm,
And he goes back and sees the arms master,
mhm.
um, which was
What
super fucking cool.
that was cool.
Would
The
you like
kinda
a
the back and
Would you
forth.
like a vintage Italian?
Mm.
And I mean, there's some beautiful editing in this movie for the specific sequences that, like the sections of it. It's beautiful. And that getting ready, going to the tailor, going to the arms dealer, going to all these different places. That's one. And then paralleling all 5 fights that he has to get into when the $7 million hit
Yeah.
is announced and showing all of
Oh,
them at the same time. Genius move. It
that
lets you know
might
that
be my scene.
it just
Now that I
keeps coming. There's
yeah.
no way to avoid it. It's just it keeps hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and he keeps fucking going. And I think that's cold as fuck.
Ooh.
Just a brilliant choice.
That might be my scene now that I think about it. I had some like there's a lot to choose from here, which is always a good problem. But that one is actually probably one, but the one I had was the self-reflection exhibit full of mirrors.
Hmm.
I just a great visual choice. It's an art
Oh,
exhibit, so it's perfect, like you can just make it however the fuck you want. I thought it was just perfect. Like perfect.
well, it's
uh
also there's a cool meta nature to that scene where this is, as far as Hollywood is concerned, very, very unique action movie. And I think putting it in the context of modern art,
hmm.
like the modern age, the modern desire for action blockbusters and pushing the boundaries of what gets your blood pumping and gets you on the edge of your seat and gets you excited, to make that artful and do it the way that they've done it. I feel like there is a little bit of a meta thing going on there where they're like, let's put it in a
Ah,
modern art museum in the end and let's do the
yeah.
whole thing there. Like that's fucking cool.
It works for in the movie,
Mhm.
self-reflection for the characters, whatever. But I really like that too. And it is a weird back and forth I have because like in real life, I don't even want to kill like a fly, or like a spider. Like I don't want to kill anything. But when I'm watching this movie and I'm seeing just countless people die, I can't help but be like satisfied. It's this weird, like, I get why thousands and thousands of people crammed into the Colosseum to watch people fight.
Mhm.
To see someone die. Like that's like I hope I never do, like that is something in real life I hope I never do, but the fact that it is just in a movie medium makes it like tangible. I don't know, it is very weird to think about that, but like thank God we had to go to Italy for part of this movie. Oh man, whenever he was like, yeah, she's in Rome right now or whatever for her coronation, I was like, oh, let's fucking go. I'm like, they
Let's
shot
fucking
they
do
shot
this.
they shot New York well. But Europe is just naturally, I don't know, I think it just works better on the camera, works better on the eyes, and yeah, whenever I mean he just pulls up in a building, like all that ceiling art, that's just up there as he's just kind of the camera follows him. He's walking through, just showing up all the art on the ceiling. I think it might be the
Mhm.
Continental, like that's there, that he's walking into.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but oh man, Italy. It just visually was a step up from the first one for sure. Um, they stepped kind of everything up. I'd say the only thing that wasn't was the gravity, like the how much the story impacted me. Like I guess I really didn't cry here or tear up really at all. I'm trying to think if there was a moment.
No,
Um
there's not.
I don't
Um,
think so.
but
Like
like it's an action movie for
mhm.
action's sake, but it is a little bit more like there's just something heightened about it. And I think that that makes it, I mean, I like it more than the first one. I think it's better than the first one. Better made, better edited, better shot, better. The only thing is, I don't think Keanu Reeves does quite as good as he did in the first one. I don't think
Um
he gets. I don't think he's given the opportunity to.
I
Um,
know, and I'm not gonna lie. That line that you said of like it's so bad that it circles around to be good. He had a delivery. What like that was sort like maybe it was like the I'm gonna kill them all. Like you tell them.
yeah,
Like it was sort of like I don't know. Like it didn't it felt weird. Like the delivery to me. Like it wasn't I don't know. Like it didn't feel good at least. It felt like a little like it was something he didn't leave it all on the table. I don't know. Like it was I feel like if you're saying that,
disjointed.
yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like the delivery was just not the. It just didn't feel like that's how you deliver that line. I don't know.
Mm.
Um,
I took it as unsurety, like not being like he's always been confident. He's always been that guy. He's always been
hmm.
him. And
He's never been
now,
exposed to
truly,
this. Okay.
truly, everyone is out after him. He got a taste of that in this movie, but it's nothing
Hmm.
compared to what's about to happen. So him
Okay.
being like, tell them, let them know. I'll kill them all. Like I'll do it. And I think you're right. I think it is this like he wishes he wasn't in this situation. He wishes he didn't have to do it, but he recognizes he's gonna have to do it. And
It's
like
kill or be killed, I guess, it's
mhm. But no, I get what you're saying.
mm,
And there's a line delivery in the fourth one that is extremely funny because I can't spin it that way. It's very very it's very simple. Like it is actually not that good of a line delivery, and I
okay.
don't think that it wraps back around to being good. It is an actual bad line delivery. Um,
Okay, but that was
but
the only thing, the only time in the movie that I was ever like, "Ah, man," it just felt weird. But the action, all he loves that move of jumping on someone and then like wrapping his legs around him to like bring him down.
mm,
I don't know. I feel like he definitely did it in the first one. He did it maybe twice in this one. I don't know. That could be really funny if he does it once and then twice and then three times and then four.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. They turned the Yaz up to 10, which
mm,
I loved. John Wick throws out like
yeah.
whenever he's having that bar scene with Common, which is another one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Mm,
Whenever he's like, "You killed my ward, someone who I cared about." So like, no, shit's not forgiven. This is what it is.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do anything else. It's got that worthy adversary heat-esque
Yeah.
thing going on.
Mhm.
Um, and I really, really dig that. And so I loved that sequence. And basically the whole time Common saying things and John Wick's going, "Yeah." And then Common says something and he goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much the whole fucking
He's a
conversation.
man of few
Um,
words, He everyone knows what he's about. It's just everyone knows him. Like he's just that known,
there's
and
actually a phone call at one point where someone answers the phone and they say something like John Wick, and then he goes, like the guy on the phone, it's not even John Wick saying, he
hmm.
goes, Yeah. Like I think there is a reference to it being like they know what they're doing in this
That's
one.
awesome.
Uh
That's
but
awesome. Man, I'll have a more of a keen ear for the Yaz in the third one because I guess I didn't quite pick him up. I heard a few, that's for sure.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's I don't does it get more like it do they keep going? It gets more. Oh, the stairs. The stairs. I thought that was it. I surely thought. I am like, holy fuck. Three, it wasn't just the one, nope, two, and then they went again and I'm like, okay,
No,
this
it is 3 flights of stairs. That is no fucking joke. That
mhm.
is no joke. That is a great sequence. That is a great sequence of falling downstairs. It is fucking nothing compared to what happens in the fourth movie. Um,
I was like, man, I'm like, oof, after the first one. I'm like, ooh, those do not look
and
comfortable
then they just
stairs
keep
whatsoever.
tackling
Just
each other
it's like
down.
they wanted to almost. After the first one, it's like,
Uh-huh.
well, we might as well just get to the bottom of this shit, like let's go.
It's
Um,
gonna happen anyway.
mhm.
Might as well fucking do it,
And I love
We're not gonna
their
take our time to run back up,
yeah. They both know, like, are they both in the know that they both have bulletproof suits on, Because, like, whenever they first
Yes.
have that standoff and they just do the pew, pew, like the three quick shots to like the chest, it's kind of like out
Yeah.
of respect, like they could have gone for the head, or
Mhm.
whatever, but it's like no, the game is on. Like it was kind of like it initiate like they both were down and it made them both kind of have to run away and then like now the chase is on everything. I don't know. It was
Well, and I liked the way they both, like, look up at each other like, "Oh, okay, you
mm,
got game. I dig it. Alright, let's fucking go then."
yes, I love.
Like,
Oh my gosh, you hear on
dude, the escape through the catacombs is fucking cool, whenever
mm-hmm.
he comes face to face with Ruby Rose there and is like, "No loose ends, just one." I
Yeah,
loved that. I loved that.
oh man. No, yeah, that they I don't know. It's this one at least if the story wasn't as, gripping or whatever, at least they were like we're just gonna do cool shit. Like we're like
Mhm.
I don't know. We've entered holy like just We can. We got the first one. We showed you what we can do. Was there more of a budget for this one? I'm assuming. Like
Yeah.
this, it
Yeah.
seems that yeah. This is a budget increase and a half. Does it go? Is the budget even crazier for the third one, or is it relatively
I don't
closer to
know.
this?
I don't know. John Wick 4, I can assure you, had a much bigger budget.
Okay, so 3,
But John Wick 3, I'm not sure.
because definitely there's a big jump. I feel like from 1 to 2 in just grandiosity feel, but I'd say maybe from 2 to 3 it might. I mean, if it is that same level of jump, that's crazy. But I
Yeah.
was not
This
expecting
one
that.
had twice the budget that the first one did.
Okay,
The first one had a budget of 20 million, and this movie had a budget of 40 million.
that's actually so impressive. Like,
Mhm.
I guess it is in camera. There's not many. Like, it's just blood splatters. I get you.
And
Like
there
at the end of
is,
the day, like
I mean, but they're going to Italy. They're in
that's
the
true.
streets
And
of New
all
York.
those
They
cars, all the like,
they bought out Central Park for a day.
damn,
Central
it's
Park
just
there, you
crazy to
know?
hear of like, because when I think of movie budgets, I'm thinking in like the 200, 300, 400 million
Mhm.
dollars for like a Marvel
No,
movie,
the
you know.
the ceiling is John Wick 4, and that's 100 million. John Wick 3 is 75, so we get another jump in budget there.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
I would put that on more even footing quality-wise in terms of just, like, being able to perceive the budget, like, you can
Mm-hmm.
feel like something cost a lot to make, relatively more similar to 2 than it is to 4.
I
Like,
see.
4, I think there's a leap in terms of
Hmm.
what it feels like. Um,
Okay.
but,
Wow.
yeah,
No.
no,
What a
this is
franchise. Like that's like
yeah.
it is so unique. There is nothing. It is James Bond. It is like it but it's not it is parts of James Bond. It is parts of like crime classic just mob boss, shit. It is the samurai and western like the honor code and stuff they have and all of these
Mhm.
things like it's so like it's just to make you I don't know, badass. That's the word. It's just everything badass in history rolled into modern times. Like, and I would like to see John Wick if he can wield the blade. Does he have skills beyond gunfire? He can't, knives. I've seen that, but I want to see a sword, that is I don't know. Guns are okay, efficient, very nice. Um, but I don't know. It would be nice to see some other weapons be used.
You will see other weapons.
Okay, that's nice. He does use
Um,
the car. The car, very creative with the car. Your kill in the first movie with the run over, bow 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 through the roof.
mhm,
Very good. This one, he uses the car as like a baseball bat and just
mhm.
dings this dude. That was one of my potential kills because one, he crashes into him first, reverses, goes back into the guy, which he's already climbing out of the car. So then he lands on the windshield. John is right. He could, I don't know, did he have a gun at this point? Like,
Pretty sure.
he could have literally just popped him right there, but he's like, I will let you run. Like, I want you to run so that I can do this most badass reverse swing, boop, ding, and then just king, like the ring, like it against the foul pole, like home run. It's
Yeah.
just what I thought, and it was like, holy shit, what a way to open. Like, it was in the opening of the movie too. I'm like, okay, we're entering a new world. Um, and yeah, it was tough though to see that car go through all of that though. I
It
did say
was.
last
It was.
episode, yeah, it is my dream car. It is being
Well,
fixed up by 2030 Christmas possibly.
I'm
Uh
pretty sure Aurelio services are also Continental.
no. So that just
I'm pretty
means
sure.
well, the car could still be fixed, but he just won't
I
have
guess,
it, right?
yeah.
Like it
I'm
just
guessing that his services, there's things that toe the line, because I
hmm.
don't think the Bowery King falls under that jurisdiction.
Mhm.
I think he's just aware of the underworld.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
a
think that Aurelio is aware of the underworld and takes part in it, but I don't think he gets like coins as payment
no.
or anything.
No.
So,
Like it's a mutual relationship that they kind of have. Like he's just
mhm,
he knows in this business cars will be cycled through. We'll get a lot of, you're going to kill some people. Well, they have cars. So we can fix those cars up and we can sell those cars.
mhm.
Fair. That's a good business model to me if you're just okay with the killing part, the morality of it all. But
Yeah, man, fuck
um
it. I'm John Leguizamo. Fuck it, you know.
mhm.
Uh,
But yeah, I loved yeah, we'll have it fixed by Christmas
2030.
2030. Yeah, he was I don't know, he was
Yeah,
really good in this one. Every returning character, what like I don't know, it is really cool just to see how unique characters are. I don't know, like they have kind of a guy for everything. We have if he needs
it's
guns. Yeah, like it's like the Kingsman a little bit too. Like maybe that's what I was trying to think of like the room that he was brought into with
secret
the suits.
society
Yeah,
sort of.
with the suits and stuff. Daredevil a little bit of the, when in Kingpin how they have their suits made reminded me of that whenever he was getting tailored. Like there's just all of like just really cool aspects of things thrown into this, I don't know, massive just action hodgepodge, and
Right.
it
Did you
works. Like,
recognize the sommelier, the guy who was the arms dealer? Did he
was
look familiar?
he the in Passenger? I think he is the
Oh,
bartender. I think he's like very similar. Like, I think he's the bartender that talks to Chris Pratt. I think. But should I know him from somewhere else as well?
he is in another Chris Pratt movie. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's one of the Nova Corps. He's one of the main Nova Corps dudes who we
Oh
get to know.
shit.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. What the hell is this on his IMDb page? What he's like it's like Blue Beetle, but the Walmart version of it. What is but it doesn't even I don't know, but I do see Passengers on there. So, I think okay. But yeah, definitely Novacore as well. But yeah, Peter Seraph, am I looking at the right guy? Uh
Serafinowicz.
yes, Peter. Yeah, there he is. Rick and Morty as well. Okay. But wow. Let's see. Are there
And
any
there's
I felt
another
like there
place
was
you
one
might know him
more.
from.
Oh.
He is the voice in Episode 1 of Star Wars of Darth Maul.
The voice of Darth Maul in like the Phantom Menace?
Mm-hmm.
He's the voice of Maul?
Mm-hmm. Says one line.
What does he say? Do you know it?
I can't remember off the top of my
Like
head,
is
but he
it
says
just
something about how we will finally reveal ourselves, my master, or like he's like I'm gonna
okay.
kill a fucking Jedi or something like that. Yeah,
Okay. Wow. And that's just they couldn't have Ray Park just wasn't like I don't know. They needed a voice actor for that one line. Interesting. Okay. I never
Ray Park's never done the voice for Darth Maul,
well I
even in
guess
live action for
I mean, I
Solo.
was just gonna say, like, for one, if it's just one line in the movie, do you really need to pay? Like, I mean, shit, I'm glad that dude got paid, for
Yeah, I
that
know.
one line. Good on him. But
Ray
what a
Park must sound like shit.
yeah, I guess maybe he does. Maybe the dude's just purely visual. He's like, that's all I can do. Um,
Let's just not have that voice, I guess.
but is there any other? Let's see. I'm trying to think if I recognized anyone else, from anything. Hmm, yeah,
I
Earl.
mean,
I
Chuck
don't.
Woody Awuji, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The High Evolutionary is in one scene where
Really?
he talks to Gianna. Yeah, talks to Gianna before she dies. Um, the black guy she has a meeting with. Akery,
Oh, okay. Wow,
Akoni.
yeah. I
Akoni.
guess that was part of the movie that like I guess if there's only one part of the movie that kind of got like jumbly or kind of like well, I guess I did have to deal with the whole customer service um thing in the middle of this movie. So that was fun, but it was kind of during whenever Rome and the coronation and all of the Italy stuff was like the early goings of it. It was after he got all suited up. I guess it was I don't know. I think in between him getting suited up and actually getting the kill, and then after the kill was kind of just a whole jumble for me. But um, Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anybody. I don't know. I felt like there was one other person that I recognized from somewhere. Um,
I mean, Peter Stormare, the guy at the beginning, Abram, the guy who does the whole "you killed him with a fucking
yes,
pencil."
yes, yes.
Uh,
What is he
yeah,
from? Okay,
I mean
yes.
a ton of stuff.
What is he
Peter
from?
Stormare. Did you
Um,
ever watch Prison Break?
yes. Is that what I know him from?
He's the guy who gets loaded with bullets, who did the Rico case and stuff. I don't know if you remember much of the details. I don't. Um, I know
Huh.
that he was in Prison Break. He was in, I mean, The Big Lebowski and or no, maybe Fargo. It was Fargo. Um, so he's been in a
Maybe it
few good.
is Prison Break. I guess he was in Constantine. He was
He was the
with
devil. He was
he
Satan.
was the devil. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
it
it.
wasn't feeling right. I'm like, I know I watched Prison Break, but I'm like, it just didn't feel okay. He was the devil. Um, there we go. That was it. That was definitely it. It was just early on in the movie. That's why I'm like, I'm trying to think of all I'm like, in Italy. I'm like, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, no, it's just they had his car. And yeah, well, that was another oh, maybe that was the professional courtesy. Was that it? Him
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
shot or
yeah. He's like,
whatever.
consider this a professional
So it
courtesy.
wasn't
Like, I'm
even
not
with
killing you.
Common. It was actually just
Yeah,
kind of it's just a
yeah.
thing in the biz
Hmm.
maybe, that they say cuz also I'll be seeing you. Like is like when you
Yeah,
know you're going to
yeah.
die, I that oh my god, that was so cool. Like seeing hell kind of but like I don't know. Like it I'll be
I'll be
seeing you.
seeing you. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, oh, it wasn't a yeah, it was a sure. Okay, that's right. It was yeah, sure. Or maybe did he say a little yeah, sure, or was it just
There was no
sure?
yeah there. It was
Just a sure?
just sure.
Just sure? Because
Yeah.
what did he say to Vigo last time? He was like, because Vigo said it to him. He was like, "I'll be seeing you." And he goes, I think he was like, "Yeah, I'll be seeing you." I think he like maybe like repeated it to him.
We got the D&D line.
Oh, was that it? Was that when we brought it up, or was
Maybe
it a
that
different?
could have been the D&D line.
But no, this one I don't know. I and that's just the world kind of building they do. It's just it's so cool. It's terrible for me to like want this life. I obviously do not want to go down this route, obviously. But like there is part of my brain that is like I would
This is
love
so bad.
oh my god, if I could have this ability, yes, like yeah, like
Here's the thing. I'd want to be the concierge at the Continental. I'd want Sharon's role. I'd want Lance Reddick's job.
that's
That's who I want
much
to
better.
be.
There's the business
Uh,
side that I'm not thinking of. There's,
mhm.
you know, not doing the killing, but like, is it a Tyrion thing where it's like, yeah, you're not the one killing, but like you're,
Being a party to it for sure. But
mm-hmm.
you got to have a certain brain on you to live with that for sure. Um,
Yeah,
cer I love Sharon in this movie also, by the way.
I think
Um,
he's the character I will have to go with because
yeah,
like I
wonderful guy.
love the Bowery King, and I'm more because you gave him the nod that I want to spread the love. But man, this dude's a real one. Just I think he kind of wanted to watch the dog. I think he was kind of
Oh yeah,
like he was like, hey, like no, like I got you, man. And he's like, oh
I'll
yeah,
be
like
happy to take on
yeah,
those services if you do so desire.
yeah,
And he's like, appreciate that.
man.
And then like them just like staring at each other when
Mm-hmm.
John Wick goes to meet with him. But I love when he gets back and he's like, he has been a good dog.
Mm.
He was a great companion. We had a
Yeah,
great time.
and
Love
and
Sharon.
him picking him up, he goes back to his house. He's like, all right, let's go home. And then, but he's already there. He's like, well, I know where this is gonna. He has to take him, I guess, to Winston. Is that the idea that like
Mhm.
Winston is out, like said to go pick up John Wick and bring him to
Oh
me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like on Sharon's own accord that he was like, hey, I know you don't, I know. I guess how did he get there? Did he drive home? Did he walk home? Did he? Um,
They don't really show. They
I
just go,
guess
"Let's
yeah.
go home,
He
boy."
just
And
got
they show him walking up in the pouring rain up to a house full of rubble.
yeah,
And then they sit on the couch and look at a picture. Um, and then
yeah.
Sharon's like, "We gotta go again. Sorry, I know we probably could have just gone from the Continental,
So
but
I guess Sharon just
we
maybe took
needed
him to his house then, actually. Maybe he
could
didn't
have,
like
could have."
he didn't just follow him there and then like popped up. It was like, "Hey man, we got to go."
There's
You,
also
you know.
fascinating time jumps during that time. He shows up to the Continental, then he gets back to his house in the dead of night, and then they get to Central Park and it's day again.
Winston might have more control than we know. The man has control over time as well. Yeah, it's I don't know. Winston was a close character. But it was for the end, and I'm like,
I love that you're considering Winston and Sharon already.
yeah. Oh, dude, no, this war, like, I'm ready. I'm so in that it's like
Third
it's not even
movie,
funny. Like,
peak Sharon and Winston. That's the best Sharon and Winston movie. So like I'm so excited that you're already loving them because that's the movie where you're gonna be like, oh, I fucking love them.
that I'm in.
Uh
Yeah, I mean, I'm already in. I'm 2 out of 4. I'm halfway. Franchise wise, I mean, there's Star Wars. I love Marvel. I don't know. I don't know if Marvel really is 2 anymore, which is crazy. I think it is. Like, when I think
Marvel's also a giant
it's so much.
corporation. There's a
Yeah.
different like Guardians of the Galaxy is a franchise.
Okay. Okay, yeah, then Marvel I won't include, but like this is just I'm like I don't know what more I could ask for. It's Keanu Reeves and it's just action and it's I guess like I'd want to cry maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the only thing I'd want. I'd want the story to be a little bit more emotional so I could cry, but maybe I don't. I like just sitting back and watching people.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to
this has
sound
its
I
place.
feel like I sound insane talking like this, like saying that I just want to sit back and watch people die at What is this? I guarantee there's a kill count. Like, let's see.
Oh yeah, there's got to be just in the movies alone.
Like John Wick 1, 77 on-screen death, and then chapter 2 it rose to 128. And then I'll stop there. I'm not going to
Good.
read further on actually. I realized that was a dangerous Google.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
Um
I was worried about it. I should have voiced
okay.
my concerns. Um,
I saw Parabellum, and when I saw that word, I'm like, I click X now. I did not see any
mhm,
number. I
mhm.
saw 1 and 2, and I'm good. I saw
No, I mean,
Parabellum.
don't get me
I'm not.
wrong. He doesn't stop killing.
I
You
didn't
know.
think so.
No,
It
this
seems
this
that now
franchise
he
is
has to
built
kind of.
upon Keanu Reeves claiming bodies.
Yeah, I feel like he has to kill more now, um, because everyone is after him, and I don't even know what that means. Is a mom pushing her stroller down the street just gonna pull a gun on him? Can he go anywhere? Is anywhere safe anymore? It was a worldwide contract. This was. Did it say the dollar amount? Was there a dollar?
14 million.
Oh, so okay, it did say okay.
It doubled.
Okay,
It doubled from what Santino originally put down.
and that isn't that the continental rule? If you do business inside the continental, like you incur a heavy penalty, but like I think it was like double. Like in the first one, I think someone alluded to be like, no, it'd be like double the price, but it was like worth it to do it. Like it's like I don't give
Mhm.
a fuck, I'm doing it still. Um, and I don't know, maybe is that
Well,
like a common practice just to double the previous
there's a
bounty or
really
something?
good contrast compared to last movie where Adrian Palicki's character, who tried to kill John Wick, didn't even successfully kill John Wick. Actually, did kill Harry though. She gets taken down into that little place and shot. They kill her. Like Winston orders her dead.
Mm. Okay.
John Wick should have died. This is another professional courtesy
This
that shows
I
Winston
see.
likes
Cause
John.
yeah, they had the like 4 guys, that would have which I didn't bring it up in the first, but like aren't they firing like in line with each other? Like the 2 people who were standing across from each other? Aren't you like I don't know.
There's a moment in this one where John Wick puts a bullet through someone's skull with his foot right behind his head, and I thought like,
He came close
you're
to
gonna
shooting his
not be
foot
able to walk.
twice. He came
Yeah.
close 2 times to shooting his foot. But with John, I find it like he's just that accurate. He's that confident,
Right.
in his
Right.
abilities. He knows where the bullet's gonna go. But like the execution squad, like the firing squad that killed, I forgot what her name was in the last movie. At the end, your membership has been revoked, and then they
Yeah,
pop
I
out and
call her. I mean, the actress's name is Adrienne Palicki. That's all I know her as.
oh, so that's who you're talking about then. Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I guess like just to maybe they are good killers too, and they just know their bullet's gonna hit and not. I don't know. I just figure that's just like a four people standing in a corner shooting at a central target. Just kind of
Doesn't seem good.
no.
Uh,
But that's
cool
okay.
visual though. Cool
Yeah, no, it is
visual.
really cool. And then having them
Um,
walk up and like those are the first people you see, and I was like, oh, he's calling them off. That's cool. And then he's like,
hmm,
let me call off the entirety of Central Park. And I was like, huh? I was like, because like the first guys, I'm like, I expected to see them. I'm like, yeah, this seems that he's going to be dying here. I didn't think he'd die, but I'm like, okay,
right,
these guys
right.
have to pop up. I did not expect Central Park to be under his power. That's for sure. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's Winston. I'm glad. I'm glad I get more. Or three is the Winston and Sharon kind of movies. This is. I'm very glad to hear that. Because
And it's a lot bigger than that too, but that's definitely
yeah.
that's where they hit their fucking stride,
Okay.
to be sure. We also get a slight uptick in runtime, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh.
And that's another thing that keeps steady climbing. John Wick was an hour and 40. This was 2 hours on the dot. John Wick 3 is 2:10, and John Wick 4 is 2 hours and 49 minutes.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay. I think by the
yeah,
time
that's
I
a
get to there, though,
3 hour
that's kind
epic.
of what I want.
Right.
If they made a 5-hour John Wick movie, yeah, I might have to take an intermission, but I'd welcome it. If they, I just feel like that's a lot of work. Because man, yeah,
John
all
Wick
this,
5 hours. I hope.
yes. Now it has to be done. Yeah, that is actually too easy. Just keep the runtime up. The budget, just quadruple it. I don't know what you need to do for
Hundred
that, but
$500 million.
yeah, just everything 5. Um,
Yep.
have 5 John Wicks. He clones himself. That's where he gets into. He's like, how can I go? I am the best. I can't. There's no team that is worthy of me other than me. So he just clones himself 4 times. 5 John Wicks. 5
There you
hours.
go.
$500 million. Um, give me whatever studio. What studio's in charge of John Wick? Um,
I can't even remember.
does it usually say on the poster? I don't see it anywhere. But you're welcome. I'll take just 1% of the movie's total profits. And
That's
it'll
fine with me. I'll just
yeah.
take that little bit.
Yeah, I guess 1% is massive for a movie. I'd definitely be able to buy that '69 Mustang at that point. That's my payment. I'll just take the car. That'll be fixed at 2030, and I'll pick it up
Yeah,
Christmas 2030. There we go. Um,
make it there. But
mhm.
yeah, no, it's this is definitely a step up, I would say. I think that I enjoy this movie more. I think it's a better movie. The only thing that is a little less is that I don't think Keanu Reeves gets to do as much, and he's still my performance of the movie
Yeah,
anyway. Um,
yeah. No one
yeah.
else. Yeah, no one else
Um,
really gets it there. I
like
guess.
if it's anybody else, it's Lawrence Fishburne. Like,
Mm,
and that's
I guess I was gonna say. His is it Santino? Santino's
Santino
sister.
D'Antonio,
His sister, which is I don't know, it's just a very Italian name. It is my blood. I guess it
Gianna,
is my motherland, but I don't know names. I'm already tough
Claudia
with.
Girini.
Yeah, I'm already like I already have a hard time with English names, and then you throw a different language in the mix, and then I'm like, okay, it's just letters at that point. I don't know, like it just is
Mhm.
not gonna stick. But no, I don't know. I think yeah, Keanu just still takes the cake on this one. Just he's an action fucking star. And yeah, it was that only that one delivery that I felt some weirdness of, but then I didn't really think about that like his world changed right there. Like he didn't know Winston had it like that. Like and that does change it a little bit. So even my one gripe is kind of not I don't know, a little I'm backpedaling on it now a little bit. So
Well, and it's even something that's also cool to remember is that he's been retired for seemingly years, um,
Mhm.
several years.
I think
The
4.
first two movies and the third movie take place over the course of like a few weeks.
Mhm.
So like this is like he knew the owner of the Continental. He knew Winston. But what happened in that time he was gone and he meets him now and he sees this, he's like, "Oh, Winston's different now." Like he's a whole other level now. Uh,
Oh. Oh, okay, I
I think
guess
there's even that going on.
yeah, because I guess, yeah, he does definitely have history with them. So, I guess, am I reading that right in that he didn't know Winston had this power before?
I think you're
Um,
right. Yeah.
okay, because I guess that's
I think Winston's very careful to not show his cards like
mhm.
this. And that's how much he trusts
Like
John.
yeah,
And
and
that's how much he's
maybe
telling John, like, I fuck with you, dog. Like, you better get the
yeah,
fuck gone. There's only so much I can do, you
yeah,
know?
and maybe it's not, like, that this was so unexpected. He might just expect Winston to have more in his bag, but this was not known to him before, is, like
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was like, I was already fulfilled with the end, I'm like, "Man, what an ending." I think, like, he's just gonna let him go, that's I was kind of already thinking that, like, that he's not gonna kill him here, that obviously, there's a chapter 3 and
What
4,
have you
um,
done?
but yeah, I don't know, I liked the shock at the end, that was crazy, and yeah, he does just
Cool,
he's
man.
running towards the city, but it looked I don't know what part of the city that is, I guess he has an hour. He can maybe he's just running to the Continental. Um, I guess. But I will see shortly. Um, eventually in the opening. But yeah, I guess I'll let the third one happen. But
Mm.
I don't know because I am in entering theory mode now. That's for sure. I mean I'm just assuming he goes and gets strapped up. He is like, I have an hour. I'm going to get guns. I'm getting a suit. I am doing everything I possibly
He
can.
also has a giant wound in his stomach.
Oh, that's
So
longer than an hour. Yeah, that might eat up a lot of
yep,
that
that
time.
sucks. That
Um,
sucks.
mm, did forget
Keep
about
that in
that
mind.
one. Yeah, I did
Um,
forget about that one. Um,
But yeah, no, that my favorite scene of the movie though, and it's brief, it's a quick scene, but I had to go with it, is whenever John walks in, gun drawn, into the Continental, looks at Sharon and goes, "I'm here to see Santino D'Antonio," and
the
he's
little
like a lounge waiting for you,
yes, the little grin
and he
that he
walks in.
gives. Oh, I know, I
Mhm.
loved that from him, but sorry.
Walks in and Santino's all cocky. He's like, "You can't fucking touch me here, dog. And if you do,
Mm,
it's just gonna get worse for you.
yeah,
I could stay here as long as I want and never eat the same meal twice. How about it? Fuck with me." Just shoots him. I
yeah.
love Winston in the
Walk away.
background the whole time being like, Jonathan. He's the only guy who calls him Jonathan. Jonathan, be careful. Just walk away, Jonathan. Uh,
No.
what have you done? And the
The
whole movie being spent giving you an idea of the weight of this action. Like when they are in Rome and Common and him burst through the window and they're like, "Do we need to remind you what happens?" And they're like, "No, sir, we're good. We'll put it away. We're fine." Uh and then seeing just how much he does not give a fuck. And again, John being an idiot and a in denial about his actions whenever he puts a bullet in his head and he goes, "What have you done?" And he goes, "Finished it." You didn't finish shit, bro. This is the start. You got to know they're coming for your ass now. Like, what do you mean
yeah.
finished it?
I mean, like, finished this chapter. Yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you finished. You
finished
you opened up a
him
whole new one. Um,
because now he's killed a member of the high table.
2, right? Or she was being coronated, so she wasn't quite yet, I guess, so
They were in the process of switching.
okay.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. So and yeah, I guess they kind of alluded to the other members. They were just kind of very blatant, like, yeah, like, ethnic groups. Like, it's just kinda around the world, there's members
mhm.
of the high table, and,
12 seats at the high table.
hmm. Like, kinda I don't know, like, it reminds me of, Batman, the, Court of Owls, is that what they call it? sort of thing where it's like
Yeah,
this secret society sort yeah, that's
the
I don't know,
shadow
yeah.
council that runs the
Mhm.
world and nobody
Yeah.
knows,
Yeah.
Uh,
Man, yeah, this what a just I thought that it was just I don't know. I didn't know the world was like this at all. I just thought it was just the world as we know it sort of thing, you know? Like just
far and away the coolest world built by a franchise by an action
yeah.
franchise, I
Yeah,
should
'cause
say,
like
because Mission Impossible, I love the Mission Impossible movies, but that is very, like there's something heightened about this on an extreme level compared to Mission Impossible.
yeah.
Mission Impossible is also fairly heightened, don't get me wrong, like,
Mhm.
that's
But like a
the stuff that
Bourne
happens in Mission
like
Impossible should not be able to happen.
yeah, but
Uh,
like the Bourne movies or like even Bond, like the Bond movies, like it's like, yeah, secret society or like, oh, well, you know, that is different from my day-to-day, you know, what I take in, but like it's still you're like, "Oh, very possible." I don't know. It's like it's just kind of normal. But this is not normal. Not at all. Like this is better. I don't know. That's
mm,
just kind of what I've gotten at. I when I'm thinking of action now, like this is like my at least right now the best franchise. That's for sure that I can action franchise that I have watched so far, and I'm only 2 in.
mm.
Um, it's there's nothing like it. Like it has so many cool aspects of movies that I love, but taken very seriously. Like the silly things that might be joked about before, or like in a movie where it's like whatever. That's like nah, that's just how it like them's the rules, you know. Like,
Mhm.
and it's like the like if you don't follow the rules, you die. Like that's just it's just how it is. And I don't know. When the stakes are that high, I guess it's heightened stakes. It's the world is just very cool, unique. I'm never thinking of killing another human in my life, so seeing them drop like flies is just, you know, I don't know. It's not normal.
No, it is
So it's
otherworldly. It
yeah.
is, and that's what's so fascinating about it is there's such a fantasy to it that to ground a fantasy like this is fascinating. It shouldn't even feel like you could set this in any time like this could be this is a Star Wars story. It's the Mandalorian. They ripped it word for word, bar for bar. Season 1, episode whatever the fuck 2, whenever all the bounty hunters are sent after him and he has to find a way out, he is like that's John Wick 2 and John Wick 3. And
Hmm.
like
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it is just more of a it is just a mob, just like a classic
organized crime.
crime story. Yeah, it is just it's but in its very unique world. So it doesn't like on the surface, I wouldn't compare it to like Star Wars or like The Mandalorian, but then like you break it down, it's like yeah, at the bones, that's just what the story is.
Well, and we mentioned its influences:
Mhm.
fantasy, western, samurai.
There you go. I mean, there's Star
That's
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's tracking. Things. It.
it's
I don't
just
know.
taking all those elements and making an action movie instead of taking all those elements and making science fiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's go two separate roads there. Um,
It is a unique. What a blend. Like, yeah, I think I couldn't ask for a. I don't know. Like, I do like the sci-fi, but it's almost in a way better. Like that, it is grounded in the real world. Like I don't like it is I don't know, very strange to even describe, but because I'm a sci-fi fan at heart, like I don't know, like if anything sci-fi, it could be the shittiest movie of all time. I'm still probably gonna like it.
mm,
If it just has anything to do with aliens or time or robot, anything, I don't know, just I'm fucking in. Um, and but this is just great. Like I really like can see that it is a stunt person at the helm. Like this is like they know how to shoot action so well. Like I don't know, I think it that's what you want in an action movie. You want someone who knows the fight, like who knows the actual movements and time
Mm.
dedicated that you need, and I don't know, just the area that you're gonna need to make these move. I don't know, just everything that goes into it, which I'm ignorant on because I don't even know how to throw a punch. Um, but they know. I mean, that's just second nature to them. But to someone like Chris Nolan, you know, one of the greatest we have alive right now, but I don't know. I don't take him as a fighting man. I'd say like
Oh,
trust the
yeah, yeah.
experts. It's just people see through different lenses, and like this is so clearly like just action lens. Like we're just gonna give
Action
you
movies made by action performers.
yes, like
Yeah.
we're gonna give you the coolest shit we could think of, and it's like budget well spent, like this is like in history forever now. This is like I don't know, like American action. I'm kind of like it makes me feel even patriotic a little bit, which I don't like feeling at all. But it's like yeah,
Right.
like fuck yeah, like this is American action. Like
Hollywood,
we're
baby.
known for
Yeah.
that shit. John Wick is us. So yeah, it's I don't know. I am in. I'm trying to think. Um, if I've missed. Oh yes, there was one cool kill that was under consideration, but I'm going with the Mustang home run hit off the foul pole. That is for sure.
I haven't said mine. I
Um,
haven't said my favorite cool kill. I forgot about that.
okay.
Mine is down in the catacombs. He obviously goes on a series of badass kills there, but my favorite is whenever he comes around a corner and a guy gets the jump on him and he fires, it doesn't shoot, he's not loaded. He
Mm-hmm.
knocks him down, pins him down with the shotgun, loads it as he's pinning him down, and then pulls the trigger.
Mm,
That's
dude.
fucking gnarly. That is my
Oh
pick for the
my lord.
kill in
He
the movie.
he had a couple reload kills too. Like there was that
Mhm.
one which was sick. I think there's one in maybe it was like the art museum part when they were up in the museum maybe, and like had I love how he cares about the people that are running at him more, but if he has someone pinned down, he'll like wait to kill them. Like
Yeah.
he just waits to like and then he
He's
pops
like,
him in the
"I've
head.
got you. You're
Yeah,
good."
like
Like
like I already know you're dead, man. I'm just gonna
yeah.
wait because I have you. Like you're easy now. I think that's just hilarious that it happens often too. Like it's not a rare thing. He will pin someone down, shoot four other people, and then kill a
Mhm.
person four
I love the,
times in
like,
a row.
semi-angled way he holds a gun too. It's never straight up, it's never straight sideways, it's like this,
Mhm.
and I think that's cool.
Man,
I like that.
he can gun. I love that quote, that analogy of Anakin Skywalker and John Wick. It is, yeah. Like I don't I don't know. I don't see gun action like this. Like in a I don't know. Like there's no like in like yeah, like Taken, like there are gunfights, but like I guess there's not really a dude who can act like who is John Wick. Like he's John Wick, like it's just he can kill anybody. He's just that like doesn't matter. We don't need to know his history. It's honestly kind of I'm glad that it is just pushing forward and it is just he is
Mhm,
this boogeyman. He is just a force to be reckoned with. Um and yeah, I don't know. I do like that, but the visual, I mean, shot wise, there's actually like kind of a lot to choose from. The mirror one was like the clear. I even texted you. I was like, that was a moment when he appeared in the mirror. But I
mhm.
really liked. It was early on. It's when Santino comes to his house. I think. Um, mm, no, actually,
When he gets
he
back.
just gets home. Yes, and he's walking just through his front door, and there's the moonlight is shining through his windows, and you see the rain on the windows, on the walls as well, like the shadow of the rainfall. Um, and man, anytime it just shows his front door, it just looks really good. I think that's also a really good idea for a front door. Have a really bright light and a semi-clear door so you know who's like at your door, but they have no idea who's inside. It's a
Right,
very
right.
tactical door. Um, and I love what's Jimmy? Yeah, the cop that pulled like the
Yeah, yeah.
hey
"You
Jimmy.
working again, John?"
Yep. Or what's gas leak? Yeah, it was like gas leak, gas leak.
Yep.
You working again?
You
And
working again, John?
he just walks away. See ya, Jimmy, or whatever.
See you,
Yeah.
Jimmy. And Jimmy's like, ah, shit.
Yeah, he's
You know, like,
fuck, now I gotta
I
deal
like
with
that
this.
Jimmy in the first one too. He's like, we got a noise complaint. Everything okay? You know,
Mm, okay.
all right.
I'll leave you to it,
Well,
John. Yeah, he's like,
have a nice night, John. You know,
"Yep, you got it." And what okay. Yeah, I wonder if they probably have it in the police too if they got the homeless. They got well, they don't even got the homeless, but they got the city. They got to be connected everywhere. Um, oh no, I'm so ready.
goes all the way to the top.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's everybody. John Wick is singular. He's
Mhm.
he's it's Truman. It's a Truman show over the span of 4 movies. Okay, no, I'm gonna stop. I'm going off the deep end. Um, but kind of right now. I mean, the world is
A
on him.
different form of Truman. Yeah.
Yeah, to kill him instead of just to watch him without his knowledge. Yeah, very, very different there.
Different sort of
But
Truman. But yeah, same thing.
yeah, man, having everyone come after you. $14 million just so you die. Not even captured alive. Like, not even so that someone can get the satisfaction of your death, just to know that you're gone.
Mhm.
$14 million. Like, man, that has to feel good. You know?
That has to feel good.
Like,
I bet it feels fucking awful, actually.
true. Yeah, but like at least you know you're at
No, but
least
the
worth
pride you can
$14
take in
million
your
dollars.
work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got the pencil. Ooh, that might be the coolest kills. Is we got the pencils, like
You
we
did
got
get the pencil.
we get the legendary of like he killed 3 men with the pencil. How does guy even do that? It's like, well, here's two. I think you got two only here, so
Mhm.
it wasn't three. But it didn't. He could have kept going. I mean, it was very.
When he fights the giant dude and he shoots him through the top of the head,
And he
like,
still is
Jesus
alive
Christ.
after that. He like groans and then he does one final like shot. I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like, dude had a will. Like he had the will of I don't know. Like,
Sheer fucking will.
yeah, dude was not wanting to die. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of are there any other kills I'm missing?
I mean,
Um,
Ruby Rose's death you mentioned is really, really cool. Her name's Ares in the movie, which is dope. Um,
hmm.
that whole sequence, I love the one where, like, the whole mirror maze. That's a fantastic idea for a gun shootout, a gunfight. Like, that is so fucking cool, and that's what I love about these movies.
Oh, that one kill. Maybe that. I mean, it was it maybe I don't know. Not a cool kill, but it does the classic thing where like the guy's looking one way, he shoots John's reflection,
Mhm.
and then
Reaches
John
through the window or through the mirror and gets his
like
ass.
does it just you think he heard where the bullet came from and that's what got him to like, did he just go off sound because like how do
I
if
think he
you're
also goes off where the bullet hits,
and
and
it just
a direction,
was
like, he can
so cool.
discern
Yeah,
a way.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
there's also the one where the guy's, like, peeking around a corner and he shoots his foot and then shoots his head twice through a wall. Um,
Love that.
very cool.
Love
I
that.
mean, like, the museum sequences are fucking sick.
Mhm. Yeah, that was my scene is because I thought it was just so creative, like, just a perfect way to have a cool ass gun shootout sequence and make it suspenseful, make it tricky on on the people who were in there. I thought it just worked on every level. And that
Mm.
I don't know, it was like this I'm glad that it was a step up. Like I'm like already riding high off the first one. I'm like, man, yeah, this is just the beginning. Like I don't know. I did not know at all what I was getting into. That's for sure. Um and I'm at kind of the same place at that I was at the end of the first one. Is I didn't think it would really grow to this level, like where it is now. But like I see the expansion that it can make. Like I see how much further they could go, and that
Mhm.
we haven't really seen the high table yet,
Scratching
really
the
at all.
surface.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in I would like to see them. It's kind of like in Dune, you
Mhm.
don't see the Emperor, but then in the second one there he is. I don't know.
I mean, Emperor Palpatine's not in the first two Star Wars movies.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. They're just pulling just all the best parts of just every movie that they could find. And John Wick. I don't know.
John Wick.
What more do I need? I don't know if I'll ever I'm good off two. And there's two more. Is the thing. Is like that's why I'm still so mind blown. I'm just like I am not even I am halfway done. Only halfway done.
We go wonderful places. We go wonderful places. Um, yeah, man, we got a lot to look forward to here. But do we have anything else we want to touch on before rating this movie alongside the first one?
Think I think that was it. Oh no. Got through all the kills I wanted to talk about, and that was my last little checklist, so I think I might be ready.
All right. Well, then before we get to that, I'm going to go ahead and do the plugs. If you would, head to patreon.com/pennybloom pod where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, all sorts of book reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, and the like. For $3 a month, you can support the podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at Penny Bloom Pod, follow on Instagram and TikTok at Penny Bloom Podcast. And remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening and download the episode. That is a huge help and I appreciate it greatly. Thank you. So rating this one. Feel
Mhm.
pretty damn good about it, that's for sure. I like it more than the first one, and it's on similar footing with the first one quality wise, but I'd say even that it gets a slight bump. How we feeling enjoyment wise?
Well, last time we were at a 9. Um, and just I guess how much of a bump does it deserve is the question from the first one. I don't know if I'm quite at that 10. So it is 2.55 or 7.5. I think it is in between 2.5 and 7.5. Um, but this like it felt like it was there was more substance. There was like even with the less um story like emotional weight, there was just more action thrown at you. They were like, I don't know, it was more cool badass moments, more of that
Mm.
secondhand badassery. We're learning more about the Continental, how it all works and everything, and so it is more, but I'm thinking like 9.5 is where I'm kind. I think it is kind of in that middle. It's almost to that 7.5, but not quite yet. I'd say.
Mm.
Um,
I respect that. I respect that. I would go either 9.25 or 9.5. It's not a 9.75 for me. I'm
okay.
like, when I think about what we've given 9.75s in the past, I'm like, we gave the Grand Budapest Hotel a 9.75.
Okay. Pause. Yeah, I'm going to the Grand Budapest Hotel
Uh,
first. So that is fair. Very very fair. Um,
no, so that's the sort of thing where I'm like, when we get north of 9, you're
I guess
getting really
we're
fucking
there.
nice.
Yeah, I guess
Like
9 is already
9
there. Like
9 is already absurd. So like 9.25 was more where my gut took me,
I
but
kind of
I
like
could get with a 9.5.
I
I
kind of
don't
like
mind
just
that,
that the slight bump because the action they did step it up. Like
Mhm.
I in my head I was kind of like how can you make just killing people at mass over and over and over again entertaining, but they did.
They managed it.
Yeah,
They managed it.
every time. Like I'm never tired of him like killing people, which is very weird to say, but it's like
Yeah.
it never gets unsatisfying at any
Yeah.
point. So, but I don't know. I did really like the whole my wife died.
The world building.
Here's
Yeah.
this. Like I liked the emotional part of the one. Now
I
I'm strictly on the world, kind of like that's
Yeah,
where
the
all the
first
enjoyment's
movie
coming
is
from.
definitely more personal. It makes it more emotional. It makes it more intimate, and I think that that affects my enjoyment a great deal. I just think this movie is a bit more fun. Um,
Mhm.
and because of that, I think I can only give it a 2.5 bump personally.
I like that.
And I think the same goes for critical. I think I wouldn't put it as much better than the first one.
Mm-mm.
Um,
A visual bump for sure. Like there's a quality and just I don't know, just very beautiful shots. Just the in a helicopter often now. I think they utilized a
mhm.
helicopter often, which was nice. Um, the the action sequences instead of just like John Wick's house, you have that mirror exhibit. Like they're doing them in really cool places. We're in Rome. We're in the catacombs. All these things. So I think it just like naturally looks better, just because the scenery itself is that way. Um,
Well, and they went with a much more um, industrial palette in the first one. It felt much more
mm,
black, gray, and not in your like, oh, this is so gray, muddied, what not in that way, but like it wasn't as vibrant, it wasn't as bright. It was an interesting I like the cinematography in the first one. The personally, I would say that the cinematography in its truest form in the first one is on the whole better, but this is more satisfying to look at, and I don't know how to
yeah,
reconcile that. That's a hard thing to say. Um,
it's it just looks prettier, but the visual language in the first one was stronger.
mhm.
Maybe like it was just the the camera was set up in
There was
just
there
really
was a
cool places
consistency in the
here.
first one. Felt like it was there was a lot more handheld in this one, and I could tell
Mm.
there was a lot more handheld. There was a lot more like I could tell we were
Mhm.
shaky cam a little bit, which is fine, but it's not to my liking 100%. I like a steady camera, and I liked that in the first one a lot. Um, and but still, I still on the whole think this is better. I think the action they level up. I think that the supporting characters are more interesting. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
like more I talk about it, it's probably only a 2.5 bump, but I'm like,
That's what
I
I
could
was
even
thinking.
see myself putting it on the same level,
Let's
but I'll,
see.
I'll give it a 2.5 bump.
2.5 shakes it out to an 8.58, so an 86% versus the 83 from last week. If we were to give it an 8.5, it would be an 8.75 total. So about like a
No, I mean, like
point
my
0.5
gut would be
overall.
either 8.25 or the same as John Wick
Then
at
yeah,
an eight.
okay. Oh, I see. I see then. Um I think I don't think I could put it on the same level. I think there does have to be a difference. I think it does deserve a bump
Yeah, no, and I'm
for
cool with
this
that.
one.
I agree.
So, and yeah, an 86, a little 3% bump basically from the first one.
I
Um,
agree with that.
yeah, it
All
was
right.
just overall a little bit better. And yeah, definitely it's getting me. It's hooking me. That is for sure.
Mm,
That is certain. I am oh my god.
you're in.
I need to just complete all these franchises that I've needed to get to. I need John Wick. I need Indiana Jones. I need Lord of the Rings. I need just these things that I should get to, that I should have
Mm,
gotten to already. I need to just bang them out right now. But I'm glad I'm finally only halfway through my John Wick journey, but starting off great. That's for sure. So
mm. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I love it a lot. But yeah, so with that, an 86% for John Wick Chapter 2. Very, very good. Very good movie. And I'm loving that. Uh, but with that, come on back next week for John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and John Wick Chapter 4. That'll be next Monday and Wednesday. So very excited for that. And come back this Friday for The Bad Batch, episode 14. We're on the second
Mm-hmm.
to last episode this week, and next week we got the finale. So we got a lot to look forward to.
Ah,
If you're a Star Wars fan, join us there. If you're an action movie fan, stick with us through the month of May. We got a lot heading your way. Die Hard, Hard Boiled, Akira, um, tons of other stuff. Mad Max Fury Road, lots of good stuff. And I'm so very excited for that. And what better way to kick it off than here with John Wick? But yeah, with that, I'm Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And always praise Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.